And it says they gave enthusiastically. That's remarkable when you look at it, because he says they begged for the privilege and the honor, the grace, literally, to take part in this offering. You know, usually in a fundraiser is the person who does the begging, and the people who are supposed to, who are being begged are the people who give. It's just the reverse here. They're begging for the opportunity to take part in this offering. And apparently Paul didn't want them to do it. Apparently Paul wanted to say, you have so little, it's going to be okay. But they insisted, no, we are going to give. And I saw this happen one time in a way that absolutely broke me. I was in a church and I was preaching on giving something that's a sacrifice in order to demonstrate your love for God and your devotion to Jesus. And so we took an offering, and after the service, an usher came up to me and he said, so what are we supposed to do with this? And he handed me an envelope, and I opened it up, and inside was a diamond engagement band and a wedding band and a note from a widow who said, I lost my husband. These are very important to me, but I love Jesus even more. I had to sit down. I didn't know how to handle that. I teared up because I knew that woman. And I knew she really didn't have a whole lot. So I went to her that next week. And I said, look, the church is doing fine, and we don't need this, and please take these back. And she looked me in the eye and she said, that is not your decision. That is my decision. And there was no regret, no remorse in her eyes at all. She says, it gives me great joy to do this. Don't take this from me. So what do you do if you get a wedding set in the offering? Well, I went to a couple of jewelers to see if they would buy it. And I found out that wedding sets don't go for very much. In fact, one guy said, I'll give you $100 for it. I didn't want to tell her that. So the next Sunday morning, I stood up in the service, and I told the story without mentioning her name, and I held up the rings, and I said, this is what happened. And after the service, a businessman came up to me with his checkbook, and he said, I'll give you $1,000 for those rings. And then another guy right behind him said, I've already got a check written for $5,000. I said, you got it. So and he took those rings and went back and gave it to the widow. She was just like these Macedonian people. The value of a gift is not determined by the monetary worth, dollars. It's determined by God, by the sacrifice, by what it cost you.